Welcome, FNOC57 here. Once again, I'm back on my Xbox Series X. Today, I'm bringing you a 2 achievement guide for the brand new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So this is the campaign early access, and I will be showing you how to unlock the Nessie achievement as well as the Crocodile achievement. Both of these achievements are done in the same mission, Wet Work, and can be done relatively early on in the game. Nessie's worth 30 gamer score, and Crocodile is also worth 30 gamer score, currently less than a 2% unlock rate. Now, there's a couple of things that you have to be aware of at the start of Wet Work. What you're going to want to do is eliminate all of the enemies, and specifically for the Crocodile achievement, we need to actually use a firearms kill. So it doesn't specify firearms kill, but you really need to. What you'll want to do is go up and make sure that you're behind the enemy, the first enemy that's up here on the docks right in front of you. There's two options. You can get close and do a takedown. If you get close and do a takedown, then his weapon will fall in the water. So it's best just to get behind him, use your throwing knife, and take him out with your throwing knife. If you do that, his weapon falls on the ground on the dock, and then you have a silenced pistol. Now, it's completely up to you which way you want to do this. You can go around to the right or to the left. We're going to go around to the right, kind of in a counterclockwise motion. And the biggest thing is just to watch out for these patrol boats that actually patrol the center. So keep that in mind while you're doing this. The center lane in between the boats, there will be two patrol craft, and you want to make sure that they do not have line of sight on you. So relatively easy to do. It shouldn't take you but maybe one or two attempts, and if you do get spotted, you can always very easily just go and simply restart checkpoint as long as you're fast on it. So just kind of take your time going around these ships. There's really not too many enemies that you have to actually worry about, and you can do this in any order. You can go clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. It's personal preference at the end of the day. Just watch out for those boats. And technically you can take out the boats first, but if you take out the boats first, what will happen is occasionally one of the other enemies will actually notice you, or notice the boat, I should say. So go in whatever order you feel the best. If you get a checkpoint while you haven't been spotted, that's amazing. And then our first little enemy right here, he's got the light on, so it's best to come right here. And then kind of just aim for a headshot, but it's really difficult to actually see. So I like to line up my shot and then go underwater.
Watch out, they see you.
If they do see you like that, then all you need to do is simply reload the last checkpoint, which that's why we have this checkpoint right here, and that worked out pretty well. So this is really quite a pain with the way the light is. It is possible to get a headshot, but it is extremely difficult. If you get a headshot, make sure there's no audio cue that you've been spotted, and you'll be good to go. His body will fall in the water, and you don't have much of anything to worry about. As long as you don't see a red icon, then you'll be okay. Most of these enemies do drop a pistol, so if you need additional ammo, that's the best way to get it. There will be some enemies to the left and some more enemies to the right. We're going to stay in the water, though, because the water is the safest spot, and this also gives us the most opportunity to get additional game checkpoints, so that if for some reason we're spotted, we can simply restart from checkpoint. Remember, you can restart from checkpoint as many times as you need in order to go ahead and get this done. That's for the Nessie achievement. You also do not have to do the Nessie achievement and the crocodile achievement at the same time, you can simply load a checkpoint and then get your 3 underwater kills and load the checkpoint back up to go quiet. So since that guy was taking way too long, we're going to go and swim back to kind of the starting area, come up for air, and we're going to go in a clockwise fashion around. It's just going to be easier than going counterclockwise because for some reason the patrol boat does not want to behave himself. So we're going to go back to the very start now that we got that one enemy out of the way and we got our first crocodile kill. So this is going to be like dock number 1 basically. And instead of going to the counterclockwise way, we're going to go the clockwise way. And there's going to be a few different enemies. As long as you're not spotted, you're okay. So just keep that in mind. Red is bad, and them shouting at you is bad. The game will tell you very, very easily when you've been spotted. But you can kind of just hug the wall next to or underneath these ships. And then just be careful when you surface. Use the game's auto checkpointing if possible to get a checkpoint somewhere right around this ship or under the dock is a good spot. If you can't get a checkpoint, don't worry too much about it. The lighting's not as bad, so we can get our second crocodile kill here. Just kind of take your time, make sure the enemy isn't being watched by another enemy, and if you can, go for a headshot. As long as nothing pops up, you'll be good. And then we just have those 2 enemies over here. And these 2 guys are close together. You have a harder time accomplishing this. So what you need to do is you actually need to be underwater, get a throwing knife ready, and before that guy sees the other dead body, you need to go ahead and hit him with the throwing knife. Alright, so we're about to pop the crocodile achievement. It's not as easy to do as it sounds because the water obscures your shot so much. But if possible, go for a headshot. If not possible, you can use multiple shots as long as there's no other enemies around. Be careful, if you need ammo, you can pop up here and then you'll get your achievement, your nice, sweet, sweet achievement for Crocodile to shoot 3 enemies while underwater in wet work. So that's honestly the easier of the 2 achievements. Now what we need to do is we need to actually get the achievement Nessie, which we're still good on because while there was an enemy that went yellow, he did not actually go red, so we're okay. And we have plenty of ammunition because most of these enemies do drop ammo. It's also fairly easy to get a checkpoint. Just be very careful of the patrol boats. And then we'll continue to make our way around, getting those checkpoints as we do this. There's another guy over here. There's usually a couple of enemies around, but they do walk around, so if you want to take that guy out, you can. Otherwise, we'll come back to him in a second. And I'm going to go for these ones, like, on the dock. The far dock.
Got a few more. Don't leave anyone out. Only survivors here should be you and me, mate.
So, there's going to be 2 enemies here. And depending on exactly how quick you are getting to these enemies, they're going to be standing together, which is what we don't want. So you just have to wait and let them walk away from each other.
One down.
got another.
Keep it up.
Now remember, this is strictly as long as you are not spotted. So, be careful with your shots. Throwing knives are lethal and silent. As long as the enemy does not have line of sight on you or line of sight on the enemy that you kill, you're okay. If you get something like that just popped up, oh god, I shot, I missed. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we have to do that part again, but that's where getting these checkpoints really comes in handy. Some people have done this flawlessly. I suck with the iron sights on this pistol, though. So, for me, the throwing knife is actually better.
Well done, mate.
Be careful if you're up here of that boat.
What's behind you? Circle.
That boat should be patrolling, but unfortunately,
Good work.
for some reason, sometimes it patrols, sometimes it doesn't. And the two boats that are around are honestly the hardest part of doing this achievement. And that is simply because there's multiple enemies in the boat. So now it's a good idea to make sure that we have a checkpoint, and we're going to try to get that patrol boat. There's one enemy, sometimes two or three, but there's an enemy on the dock that has to die, and then there's two enemies in the patrol boat. So always check behind, and like right here we have that guy,
Good on you, guys.
and then we're going to have the other guy at the end of the dock, which we just got a checkpoint, so that's perfect. If you're unsure if somebody's going to hear your kill, then make sure you have a checkpoint, and if that happens like that, just restart the checkpoint. So right now, basically what we have going on here is the fact that the patrol boat is right next to the enemy. So we've got that guy up there, and he's seen us, but we have to just wait for him to move away from the patrol boat. And there's honestly not much that you can do. It's just a waiting game. So pretty much everybody's been neutralized except for that one enemy and the patrol boat. And this is the same patrol boat that, if you notice, was just chilling right here at the dock. So usually they go up and down the channel, but this one likes to just sit there sometimes. And if you have a really difficult time with this, you may actually have to restart the mission.
One down.
Unfortunately, I have that really bad RNG right now where I've got the one version with the patrol boat that just does not want to move from the location. And I honestly don't know what causes the patrol boat to just sit there instead of moving around, because we've neutralized basically everybody except for the guards in that boat. Generally speaking, the patrol boat is going up and down kind of slowly, but he'll eventually leave, and then you get a good chance to take out the guard on the bridge or take out the boat. Unfortunately, sometimes this happens, and we're just stuck here kind of waiting. As you can see, this patrol boat is pretty darn close to the dock, but if you can sneak up behind him... That darn motor's in the way. Alright.
Enemy down.
Stay on it. Double back, you missed one.
IQ down.
Good work, Sergeant.
Alright, now if you want, depending on how you have your luck with these patrol boats, jumping up on top of the patrol boat can grab you a submachine gun, which will make taking out the other patrol boat a lot easier. There should be 2 patrol boats, but every once in a while some people have reported that there's only one, like me, and then eventually when you get the audio that says that, you know, you're clear, you'll get your Nessie achievement unlock for reaching the barge without being seen in wet work. To be completely honest, I'm doing this on the lowest difficulty, which is the easiest, but I don't know if difficulty is what determines the number and the actions of the patrol boats or not, so feel free to let me know in the comment section below, but you will either have 2 patrol boats moving around, or sometimes it's just the single patrol boat that we had. So sorry for the longer guide, but this was a little bit different setup than what I had in my first attempt. So not sure why it changed, but it did. Anyways, till next time, remember, like and subscribe for more content, and most importantly, stay frosty.